Welcome to Matters of the Heart podcast with Rashonda, Thursday's Tip Edition. Do you need some advice? Need some ideas to improve a specific situation, whether in the world around you or just an individual fix? Well, that's what Thursday's Tip is all about. I don't just tell you how to do it, but I'll always offer a couple of tips on things you can do to succeed in the process. Thursday's tips are geared towards making us feel empowered, starting from the inside out. So, what are you waiting for? Come on in and let me share a couple of tips with you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday Tip episode. This is the Matters of the Heart podcast. I talk about inspiration, motivation, wellness, and mind peacefulness here. We share experiences, advice, and knowledge to help you improve your life and learn more. The content is always 100% positive, and your cheerful host on this beautiful journey is, well, that would be me, Rashonda. Today's topic is, can you do a gallon a day? So everyone knows that water is essential to our bodies. While we all know this, getting the needed amount in our bodies every day can be quite challenging. Well, I've committed to drinking a gallon of water in the past and fell smooth off the wagon. However, it's a new year and I'm making a comeback. If you want to commit to drinking more water this year, let me give you some beginning tips that I've done to help you get it all in before bedtime. It's not as hard as you think. There's a lot more to say about this subject, so stay tuned. I want to say that I'm no expert on this subject. Years ago, I would have laughed in your face if you told me to drink a gallon of water a day, but I've done it, so I can honestly say you can too. Last year, my water game was on point until I fouled out the game. Yes, more on that later, but hey, it's a new year and I'm on the water bandwagon again, so let's get to it. I read an article some time ago about how actress Gabrielle Union drinks a gallon of water a day. I began to think, how in the world does she do that on her very hectic yet busy schedule? However, if she started the way I did, I can see how it would be possible, not just for her, but for anyone. You just have to be a little creative with it. Plus, do you know that water has a lot to do with your lab results? Yes. Keep listening. I'll share my story on that later. In the meantime, let's talk about the benefits of what water does. First, not that you probably don't already know or have heard, let me give you just a little background on water and its benefits of drinking it, especially in the morning. Number one, water helps balance your lymph nodes. These much needed glands help us balance our body fluids and help fight off infection. Number two, do you have skin problems? While a dermatologist can help us figure out some things going on with problematic skin, drinking a gallon of water a day can help purge toxins from the blood, which keeps our skin glowing and clear. Number three, need to drop some extra pounds? I think we all do, okay? Amen over here. Water can help. Did you know that drinking at least 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning can boost your metabolism by 24%? And it also helps move your number twos as well, okay? Number four, drinking water consistently helps increase the production of new blood and muscle cells. Number five, drinking water on an empty stomach helps purify the colon, making it easier to absorb nutrients, which allows you to go to the bathroom regularly, if you know what I mean, okay? Also, last tip number 6, did you know that drinking a glass of water before bedtime could prevent a heart attack? Yes. Talk about some good benefits, okay? I have to say, drinking water first thing in the morning was not one of my strong suits or something that I had on my to-do list. It's just something about drinking it in the morning on an empty stomach. I felt queasy, nauseated. I'm like, no. But I actually try to drink 17 ounces of water in the morning before putting anything into my body. So I kind of got myself used to it. Still, after reading the benefits of what just a 17-ounce bottle of water does to your body, I thought I'd give it a try, and let me tell you, it was a life changer for me. I noticed my digestive system is on track to the point where I can actually track when I've been and when I haven't. Yeah, if you know what I mean. I feel as though my energy increased tremendously, and for the first time in my life, I honestly think my body was doing what it was supposed to do, especially when you're giving it what it needs to do its job. Now, let me tell you, some people say you're supposed to drink half your body weight in water a day. At the same time, I've heard other people state that you're supposed to drink an ounce of water for every pound that you weigh. Personally, I think that's too much water. It could lead to water poisoning because there is such a thing as drinking too much water, believe it or not. Let's just say I prefer to do half my body weight in water and call it a day. Now, I know you must be thinking, how do you drink a gallon of water a day in this busy world we all live in, right? Well, my secret was this, and I say it was because I do something totally different now, which I'll talk about later. However, I started off using a 20-ounce blender bottle. Yes, the one blender bottle you do your smoothies in. I just started small. And so when you fill it all the way up to the top, it gave you about 25 ounces. And my goal was to drink 128 ounces a day. And my breakdown of the day was something like I would drink 20 ounces. First, I would have my water in the morning. Then I would drink 20 ounces 10 minutes after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then I would drink another 20 ounces every 2 hours later after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if my lunch was at 1:30 p.m., I'd drink 20 ounces 10 minutes after that, and again at 3:30 p.m. And I would drink the rest before bedtime, possibly before 8 p.m., no later than 9 p.m., so I'm not up and down all night long, which is a major downfall to all this water drinking. And that's the fact of having to go to the bathroom for what seems like every 15 minutes. So if I know I have a meeting or will be extremely busy during the day and unable to go to the bathroom every second, then I slow down on the water drinking, okay? I don't always get in the 128 ounces because let's face it, I can't get up every 15 seconds. I can't leave a meeting every 10 seconds, going to the bathroom. So the water drinking will kind of slow down a little bit. So if I wasn't able to get into 128 ounces, a lot of times I would just get in 80 ounces of water. It's not about, the goal is to get, to fulfill the water goal every day, okay? But there's going to be some times where you're not able to do that. You have a really busy day and you were only able to get in 15 or 50 ounces or whatever. So you do what's best for you and your world and what's going on in it. So another thing I do, because the taste of water can get boring on most days, I'll cut up some lemon or add a sugar packet to it, especially if I'm having a hard time getting through the gallon. My favorite sugar packet is Peach Mango, which is a great value brand. And it's only 10 calories for the whole pack. And this helps me get through those challenging days of chugging the gallon. And it helps. I only use the packets as a motivator though. I didn't want to depend on them to get me through each gallon of water, as the goal is to drink the plain water, which in the long run is more beneficial. So earlier I mentioned that I had jumped the wagon on my water intake and stated that water plays a big part in your lab work. So last year I was on a good streak of drinking water at least I was doing the 64 ounces a day, so I had cut it down from the 128. 64 ounces a day, and I was doing great until I found out I had to have knee surgery on my left knee, which took me down for a few weeks. Not being able to get up and down as I had before, which it took my water level from booming to rocky. And as my luck goes, once I thought I was clear with getting my left knee back to business, the right knee got jealous. I found myself having my second knee surgery, this time on the right knee, days before Christmas last year. So yeah, it's been a journey and I'm still on one. However, as I went through pre-op with the first knee, it was so easy for them to draw my blood, and honestly, it flowed out like water, so to speak. However, it was like watching paint dry when it came down to pre-op for the right knee and drawing labs. Needless to say, I had to be stuck multiple times for them to find a flowing vein. I prayed to God that the third stick was the golden ticket because it was very hurtful. And it was, praise God. Now I have to be honest and transparent. The first time around, I bragged boastfully to the nurses about how well I drank water and how I understood being well hydrated for labs and whatever. But I ate humble pie the second time around when the results weren't so fair for me. Even on surgery day, it was a horrible feeling getting an IV put in you and then move it around just to find a vein. Yeah, ouch. So being heavily hydrated is super essential and very, very necessary. So if you know you're going and you're going to have labs done, I would suggest, now I have to be honest with you, and this is another transparent moment. If you drink 64 ounces today, don't expect things to flow so well the next day if you have to go for labs. I would suggest maybe drinking at least 64 ounces of water a day every day for a week before you have to go and get labs, because it'll make it just a little bit better. You won't have to get multiple sticks. And I understand you might have some people that drink water every day and they heavily hydrate and they just, some people are easy sticks and some people are not. But I know the nurses did confirm and say that they encourage the water drinking because it just helps. It just helps when, you got to get stuck, when they got to take blood and you have to go to labs and things of that nature. It's easy for them. And trust me, in the long run, it would be easy on you too. So just a little something to think about, maybe a little motivator, to kind of get you drinking a little more water if you're not already. If you decide to do a gallon a day, it's totally up to you how creative you want to be in getting your body and mind tricked into drinking it every day. You can choose to write notes or short affirmations to yourself on the jug, or order a motivational water jug on Amazon. I have one and it only costs $17. It's set to every 2 hours and it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes up to 9 p.m. It keeps me on track, it keeps me hydrated, and it keeps me motivated. So whatever you do, start slow and work your way up, as it won't happen overnight. Hey, the creative juices are in your hand. Make it work for you. If you have any questions about the amount of water you're supposed to drink, I honestly would suggest you speak with a certified nutritionist or a doctor, because everyone's needs and limitations vary. There is such a thing as drinking too much water. So check with the nutritionist or a doctor and find out how much water you're actually supposed to drink. However, I think 64 ounces a day is pretty good, but just start off with 20 ounces a day and just work your way up. Just get in whatever amount of water you can. Your body will yield the results and it will thank you in return. So that's it for today's Thursday Tip episode. I hope something was said that encourage you or motivate you on your health and wellness journey for 2022. Listen, there's a new Thursday Tip every second Thursday of the month. So until the next time, stay healthy and safe. That was it for today's episode. I hope you were inspired and feel positive vibes whenever you spend some time with me, Rashonda, and the Matters of the Heart podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to join me next time as we dive deeper into our spiritual, mental, and physical journey. You can follow Matters of the Heart podcast on Facebook to stay tuned for what's coming next. Feel free to share the episodes while you're here. Also, stay with me by subscribing wherever your favorite music and podcast stations reside. And as always, watch your heart because its actions will follow. Thank you for listening.